What is up, everybody? JT Dangerously here once again. I am here to do my massive Week 10 college football predictions. Now, with Week 9 in the books, we are now into Week 10 of the college football season. So I'm extremely excited to do my massive Week 10 college football predictions for you guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Now, our record in Week 9 was good. We went 34-18, so we're coming in hot, and I'm looking to keep it that way. So hoping this video we will continue the winning ways. We're on an 8-week winning streak. Hoping this video we make it 9 weeks in a row. Hopefully. Now, this is the first video of a combined 3 video day on the channel today, guys. So I hope you guys will be able to watch this video and all the fantastic videos we got on deck on the channel on this massive month of November. And as always, sure support the channel as always, guys, by watching these videos, super kicking those like buttons, hitting that notification bell, commenting your picks, your opinions, and representing your college football teams in the comment sections down below. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel today, guys, as a first-time viewer, this is your first video, boy, pick to go in if you're a huge fan of college football like myself, and you're ready for Week 10 of the college football season. Welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I'm JT Dangerously. Welcome to the club, because this club is two. Woo woo! Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into my enormous Week 10 college football predictions. Let's start off with what I like to call Super MAC Tuesday and Wednesday with a MAC East rivalry showdown between the Miami of Ohio Redhawks heading to Akron, Ohio to face the Ohio Bobcats. Now, this is the 97th meeting between Miami of Ohio and Ohio. Miami of Ohio leads the all-time series 54-40-2. Now, the Redhawks have won the last 2 meetings over the Bobcats back in 2018 and 2 years ago, and the Bobcats are looking to defeat the Redhawks for the first time in 4 years. Now, both teams are coming off their bye weeks. Miami of Ohio is coming in at 4-4, and Ohio's coming in at 1-7. So, coming from me in this MAC East rivalry showdown on Super MAC Tuesday, I am going to go with the Miami of Ohio Redhawks to get it done on the road and defeat the Ohio Bobcats. And now, next matchup. It is a MAC rivalry showdown between the Ball State Cardinals heading to Athens, Ohio to face the Akron Zips. Now, this is the 25th meeting between Ball State and Akron. Akron leads the all-time series 12-11-1. Now, the Zips have won the last 2 meetings over the Cardinals back in 2016 and 4 years ago, and the Cardinals are looking to defeat the Zips for the first time in 7 years. Now, both teams are also coming off their bye week. Ball State's coming in at 4-4, and Akron's coming in at 2-6. So, coming from me in this MAC rivalry showdown on Super MAC Tuesday, I am going to go with the Ball State Cardinals to get it done on the road and defeat the Akron Zips. And now, next matchup. It is a MAC West rivalry showdown between the Eastern Michigan Eagles heading to Toledo, Ohio to face the Toledo Rockets. Now, this is the 49th meeting between Eastern Michigan and Toledo. Toledo leads the all-time series 36-12. Now, the Rockets have won the last 2 meetings over the Eagles back in 2019 and last year, and the Eagles are looking to defeat the Rockets for the first time in 3 years. Now, both teams are also coming off their bye week. Eastern Michigan's coming in at 5-3, and Toledo's coming in at 4-4. So, coming from me in this MAC West rivalry showdown on Super MAC Tuesday, I am going to go with the Eastern Michigan Eagles to get it done on the road and defeat the Toledo Rockets. And now, next matchup. It is a MAC West rivalry showdown, and it's the battle for the victory cannon between the Central Michigan Chippewas heading to Kalamazoo, Michigan to face the Western Michigan Broncos. Now, this is the 92nd meeting between Central Michigan and Western Michigan. Western Michigan leads the all-time series 51-38-2. Now, the Broncos have won the last 3 meetings over the Chippewas dating back to 2018, and the Chippewas are looking to defeat the Broncos for the first time in 4 years. Now, both these teams are coming off also bye weeks in week number 9. Central Michigan's coming in at 4-4, and Western Michigan's coming in at 5-3. So, coming from me in this MAC West rivalry showdown for possession of the victory cannon on Super MAC Wednesday, I am going to go with the Western Michigan Broncos to get it done at home and defeat the Central Michigan Chippewas. And now, next matchup. It is a MAC rivalry showdown between the Northern Illinois Huskies heading to Kent, Ohio to face the Kent State Golden Flashes. Now, this is the 29th meeting between Northern Illinois and Kent State. Northern Illinois leads the all-time series 21-7. Now, the Huskies have won the last 10 meetings over the Golden Flashes dating all the way back to 2002, and the Golden Flashes are looking to defeat the Huskies for the first time since 2001, 20 years ago. Now, both teams are also coming off their bye weeks. Northern Illinois is coming in at 6-2, and Kent State's coming in at 4-4. So, coming from me in this MAC rivalry showdown on Super MAC Wednesday, I am going to go with the Northern Illinois Huskies to get it done on the road and defeat the Kent State Golden Flashes. And now next matchup, it is a Sun Belt rivalry showdown between the Georgia State Panthers heading to Lafayette, Louisiana to face the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. Now this is the 5th meeting between Georgia State and Louisiana. The Ragin' Cajuns have won the last 4 meetings over the Panthers, dating all the way back to 2014. So Louisiana has owned this rivalry for 7 years. Now both teams are coming out very good week 9s in the Sun Belt Conference. Georgia State's coming off their victory over Georgia Southern on Saturday, coming in at 4-4. And Louisiana's coming off their victory over Texas State on Saturday, coming in at 7-1. So coming from me in the Sun Belt rivalry showdown on Thursday night, I am going to go with the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns to get it done at home and defeat the Georgia State Panthers. And now next matchup, it is an ACC rivalry showdown between the Virginia Tech Hokies heading to Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts to face the Boston College Eagles. Now this is the 30th meeting between Virginia Tech and Boston College. Virginia Tech leads the old-time series 19-10. Now the Hokies won last year's meeting over the Eagles, and the Eagles are looking to defeat the Hokies for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different week 9s in the ACC Conference. Virginia Tech is coming off their victory over Georgia Tech on Saturday, coming in at 4-4, and Boston College is coming off their loss to Syracuse on Saturday, also coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in this ACC rivalry showdown between these two 4-4 squads on Friday, I am going to go with the Virginia Tech Hokies to get it done on the road and defeat the Boston College Eagles in a close one. And now next matchup, it is a Pac-12 rivalry showdown between the Utah Utes heading to Stanford, California to face the Stanford Cardinal. Now this is the 10th meeting between Utah and Stanford. Utah leads the old-time series 5-4. Now the Utes won the last meeting over the Cardinal all the way back 3 years ago, and the Cardinal are looking to defeat the Utes for the first time in 4 years. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s in the Pac-12 Conference. Utah's coming off their victory on Saturday night over UCLA, coming in at 5-3, and Stanford's coming off their loss on Saturday night to Washington, coming in at 3-5. So coming from me in this Pac-12 rivalry showdown on Friday night, I am going to go with Cameron Rising and the Utah Utes to get it done on the road and defeat the Stanford Cardinal. And now next matchup between the Liberty Flames heading to Oxford, Mississippi to face the Ole Miss Rebels. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s. Liberty's coming off their victory over UMass on Saturday, coming in at 7-2. And Ole Miss is coming off their loss to Auburn on Saturday, coming in at 6-2. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm going to go with Heisman hopeful Matt Corral and the Ole Miss Rebels to rebound and bounce back at home and defeat the Liberty Flames. And now next matchup, it is a Pac-12 North rivalry showdown between the Oregon Ducks heading to Seattle to face the Washington Huskies. Now this is the 113th meeting between Oregon and Washington. Washington leads the old-time series 60-47-5. Now the Ducks have won the last 2 meetings over the Huskies back in 2018 and 2 years ago, and the Huskies are looking to defeat the Ducks for the first time in 4 years. Now both teams are coming off very good week 9s in the Pac-12 Conference. Oregon's coming off their victory over Colorado on Saturday, coming in at 7-1, and Washington's coming off their victory on Saturday night over Stanford, coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in this Pac-12 North rivalry showdown, I'm going to go with my good friend Gamer's Goon, Anthony Brown, and the Oregon Ducks to get it done on the road and defeat the Washington Huskies. Quack, quack. And now next matchup, it is an ACC Coastal rivalry showdown between the Pittsburgh Panthers heading to Durham, North Carolina to face the Duke Blue Devils. Now this is the 25th meeting between Pittsburgh and Duke. Pitt leads the old-time series 15-9. Now the Panthers have won the last 5 meetings over the Blue Devils dating back to 2015, and the Blue Devils are looking to defeat the Panthers for the first time in 7 years. Now both teams are coming off very bad week 9s in the ACC. Pittsburgh is coming off their loss to Miami on Saturday, coming in at 6-2, and Duke is coming off their loss to undefeated Wake Forest on Saturday, coming in at 3-5. So coming from me in this ACC Coastal rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Kenny Pickett and the Pitt Panthers to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Duke Blue Devils in a very close shootout. And now next matchup, it is a Big 12 rivalry showdown known as the Revivalry between the Baylor Bears heading to Fort Worth, Texas to face the TCU Horned Frogs. Now this is the 117th meeting between Baylor and TCU. TCU leads the old-time series 56-49. 53-7. Now the Horned Frogs won last year's meeting over the Bears, and the Bears are looking to defeat the Horned Frogs for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 9s in the Big 12 Conference. Baylor's coming off their big victory over Texas on Saturday, coming in at 7-1, and TCU's coming off their loss to Kansas State on Saturday, coming in at 3-5. So coming from me in this Big 12 rivalry showdown and the 107th rivalry meeting, I need Baylor to be at their best, because next week we all know it's going to be my Oklahoma Sooners heading to Waco to face the Baylor Bears, and I want Baylor at their best when they play Caleb Williams and my Oklahoma Sooners. So coming from me, I'm going to go with Gary Bohannon and the Baylor Bears to get it done on the road and defeat the TCU Horned Frogs. And now next matchup, it is another Big 12 rivalry showdown between the Oklahoma State Cowboys heading to Morgantown, West Virginia to face the West Virginia Mountaineers. Now this is the 13th meeting between Oklahoma State and West Virginia. Oklahoma State leads the old-time series 8-4. Now the Cowboys have won the last 6 meetings over the Mountaineers, dating all the way back to 2015, and the Mountaineers are looking to defeat the Cowboys for the first time in 7 years. Now both teams are coming off very good Week 9s in the Big 12 Conference. Oklahoma State's coming off their big victory over Kansas on Saturday, coming in at 7-1, and West Virginia's coming off their victory over Iowa State on Saturday, coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in this Big 12 rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Mike Gundy's Oklahoma State Cowboys to get it done on the road and defeat the West Virginia Mountaineers in a shootout. And now next matchup, it is an SEC West rivalry showdown between the Auburn Tigers heading to College Station to face the Texas A&M Aggies. Now this is the 12th meeting between Auburn and Texas A&M. Texas A&M leads this series 6-5. Now the Aggies won last year's meeting over the Tigers, and the Tigers are looking to defeat the Aggies for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 9s. Auburn's coming off their big victory over Ole Miss on Saturday, coming in at 6-2, and the Aggies are coming off their bye week, coming in also at 6-2. So coming from me in this SEC West rivalry showdown between these two 6-2 squads, I am going to go with the Texas A&M Aggies to get it done at home and defeat the Auburn Tigers in a very, very, very close one. And now next matchup, it is an SEC East rivalry showdown between the Tennessee Volunteers heading to Lexington, Kentucky to face the Kentucky Wildcats. Now this is the 117th meeting between Tennessee and Kentucky. The Volunteers lead the old-time series 81-26-9. Now the Wildcats won last year's meeting over the Volunteers, and the Volunteers are looking to defeat the Wildcats for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 9s. Tennessee's coming off their bye week. They're coming in at 4-4, and Kentucky's coming off their loss to Mississippi State on Saturday that gave Georgia the SEC East title. They are coming in at 6-2. So coming from me in this SEC East rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Mark Stoops and the Kentucky Wildcats to rebound and bounce back at home and defeat the Tennessee Volunteers in a close one. And now next matchup, it is a Big 10 rivalry showdown between the undefeated Michigan State Spartans heading to West Lafayette, Indiana to face the Purdue Boilermakers. Now this is the 68th meeting between Michigan State and Purdue. Michigan State leads the old-time series 36-28-3. Now Sparty has gotten done over the Boilermakers the last 8 meetings, dating all the way back to 2007, and the Boilermakers are looking to defeat Sparty for the first time since 2006, 15 years ago. Now both teams are coming off very good Week 9s in the Big 10 Conference. Michigan State's coming off their big victory at home, defeating then undefeated Michigan on Saturday, coming in undefeated at 8-0, and Purdue's coming off their victory over Nebraska on Saturday, coming in at 5-3. So coming from me in this Big 10 rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Peyton Thorne and the undefeated Michigan State Spartans to get it done on the road and remain undefeated and defeat the Purdue Boilermakers. And now next matchup, it is a Big 10 West rivalry showdown between the Iowa Hawkeyes heading to Evanston to face the Northwestern Wildcats. Now this is the 83rd meeting between Iowa and Northwestern. Iowa leads the old-time series 51-28-3. Now the Wildcats won last year's meeting over the Hawkeyes, and the Hawkeyes are looking to defeat the Wildcats for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very bad Week 9s in the Big 10 Conference. Iowa's coming off their loss to Wisconsin on Saturday, coming in at 6-2, and Northwestern's coming off their loss to Minnesota on Saturday, coming in at 3-5. So coming from me in this Big 10 West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Iowa Hawkeyes to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Northwestern Wildcats. And now next matchup, it is an American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the SMU Mustangs heading to the Liberty Bowl to face the Memphis Tigers. Now this is the 14th meeting between SMU and Memphis. Memphis leads the all-time series 9-4. Now, the Mustangs won last year's meeting over the Tigers, and the Tigers are looking to defeat the Mustangs for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming off very different week 9s. SMU's coming off their first loss of the season to the Houston Cougars on Saturday, coming in at 7-1, and Memphis is coming off their bye week, coming in at 4-4. So, coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Tanner Mordecai and the SMU Mustangs to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Memphis Tigers in a shootout. And now next matchup. It is an ACC Coastal rivalry showdown between the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets heading to Miami to face the Miami Hurricanes, a.k.a. the U. Now this is the 26th meeting between Georgia Tech and Miami. Georgia Tech leads the all-time series 13-12. Now, the Yellow Jackets have won the last 2 meetings over the U, and back in 2018 and 2 years ago, and the U is looking to defeat the Yellow Jackets for the first time in 4 years. Now, both teams are coming off very different week 9s in the ACC Conference. Georgia Tech is coming off their loss to Virginia Tech on Saturday, coming in at 3-5, and the U is coming off their big victory over Pitt on Saturday, coming in at 4-4. So, coming from me in this ACC Coastal rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Tyler Van Dyke and the Miami Hurricanes, a.k.a. the U, to get it done at home and get above 500 and defeat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And now next matchup. It is a Big Ten West rivalry showdown between the Illinois Fighting Illini heading to Minneapolis to face the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Now this is the 74th meeting between Illinois and Minnesota. Minnesota leads the all-time series 40-30-3. Now, the Golden Gophers have won the last 2 meetings over the Fighting Illini back in 2019 and last year, and the Illini are looking to defeat the Golden Gophers for the first time in 3 years. Now, both teams are coming out very different week 9s in the Big Ten Conference. Illinois is coming off their loss to Rutgers on Saturday, coming in at 3-6, and Minnesota is coming off their victory over Northwestern on Saturday, coming in at 6-2. So, coming from me in this Big Ten West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Golden Gophers of Minnesota to get it done at home and defeat the Illinois Fighting Illini. And now next matchup. It is a Big 12 rivalry showdown between the Texas Longhorns heading to Ames, Iowa to face the Iowa State Cyclones. Now this is the 19th meeting between Texas and Iowa State. Texas leads the all-time series 14-4. Now, the Cyclones have won the last 2 meetings over the Longhorns back in 2019 and last year, and the Longhorns are looking to defeat the Cyclones for the first time in 3 years. Now, both teams are coming off very bad week 9s in the Big 12 Conference. Texas is coming off another loss on Saturday, losing to Baylor, coming in at 4-4, and Iowa State's coming off their loss to West Virginia on Saturday, coming in at 5-3. So, coming from me in this Big 12 rivalry showdown, I will have to say this. Ever since Texas lost the Red River Rivalry Showdown to my Oklahoma Sooners, this Texans team has just not been the same. I mean, they lose to Oklahoma, they lost to Oklahoma State, and now they lost to Baylor. Something is definitely wrong in Austin right now for the Longhorns. I mean, they got a fantastic running back in B. John Johnson who is having a hell of a year this year, but the Texas Longhorns just cannot get a win to save their lives. So coming from me, I am going to go with Brock Purdy and the Iowa State Cyclones to rebound and bounce back at home and defeat the Texas Longhorns in a shootout. And now next matchup. It is an ACC Atlantic rivalry showdown between the North Carolina State Wolfpack heading to Tallahassee, Florida to face the Florida State Seminoles. Now this is the 41st meeting between NC State and Florida State. Florida State leads the all-time series 26-14. Now the Wolfpack won last year's meeting over the Seminoles, and the Seminoles are looking to defeat the Wolfpack for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s in the ACC. North Carolina State's coming off their victory over Louisville on Saturday, coming in at 6-2, and Florida State's coming off a heartbreaking loss to Clemson on Saturday, coming in at 3-5. So coming from me in this ACC Atlantic rivalry showdown, ooh, man, this one's a tough pick. But coming from me, I am going to go with the North Carolina State Wolfpack to get it done on the road and defeat the Florida State Seminoles in a very close shootout. And now next matchup between the Rhode Island Rams heading to Hadley, Massachusetts to face the UMass Minutemen. Now both teams are coming off very bad week 9s. Rhode Island's coming off their loss to Maine on Saturday, coming in at 5-3. And UMass is coming off their loss on Saturday to Liberty, coming in at 1-7. So coming from me in this matchup, I think this will be the first time I have picked a football championship subdivision team. I picked an Ivy League team a couple of weeks ago with Yale, but this time I'm going to go with the Rhode Island Rams to get it done on the road and defeat the UMass Minutemen. And now next matchup. It is a Big Ten rivalry showdown between the Wisconsin Badgers heading to Rutgers to face the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Now this is only the fourth meeting between Wisconsin and Rutgers. The Badgers have won the last 3 meetings over the Scarlet Knights dating all the way back to 2014. So the Badgers have owned this rivalry for 7 years. Now both teams are coming off very good Week 9s in the Big Ten Conference. Wisconsin's coming off their big win over Iowa on Saturday, coming in at 5-3. And Rutgers is coming off their victory over Illinois on Saturday, coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in this Big Ten rivalry showdown, I'm going to go with Ches Malosi and the Wisconsin Badgers to get it done on the road and defeat the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And now next matchup. It is an SEC West rivalry showdown between the Mississippi State Bulldogs heading to Fayetteville, Arkansas to face the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now this is the 32nd meeting between Mississippi State and Arkansas. The Hogs lead the old-time series 17-13-1. Now the Hogs won last year's meeting over the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs are looking to defeat the Hogs for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 9s. Mississippi State's coming off their victory over Kentucky on Saturday. That gave Georgia the SEC West title. They're coming in at 5-3, and Arkansas is coming off their bye week, coming in also at 5-3. So coming from me in this SEC West rivalry showdown between these two 5-3 squads, I am going to go with Mike Leach, Will Rogers, and the Mississippi State Bulldogs to get it done on the road and defeat the Arkansas Razorbacks in a close offensive shootout. And now next matchup. It is an ACC Atlantic rivalry showdown between the Clemson Tigers heading to Louisville, Kentucky to face the Louisville Cardinals. Now this is the 7th meeting between Clemson and Louisville. The Tigers have won the last 6 meetings over the Cardinals dating all the way back to 2014. So the Tigers have owned this rivalry for 7 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 9s in the ACC Conference. Clemson's coming off their last second victory over Florida State on Saturday, coming in at 5-3. And Louisville's coming off their loss to NC State on Saturday, coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in this ACC Atlantic rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers to get it done on the road and get bowl eligible with 6 wins and defeat the Louisville Cardinals in a very close shootout. And now next matchup. It is an SEC East rivalry showdown between the Florida Gators heading to Columbia, South Carolina to face the South Carolina Gamecocks. Now this is the 42nd meeting between Florida and South Carolina. Florida leads the old-time series 29-9-3. Now the Gators have won the last 3 meetings over the Gamecocks dating back to 2018, and the Gamecocks are looking to defeat the Gators for the first time in 4 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 9s. Florida's coming off the loss to number 1 Georgia on Saturday, coming in at 4-4, and South Carolina's coming off their bye week, coming in also at 4-4. So coming from me in this SEC East rivalry showdown between these two 4-4 squads, I am going to go with Dan Mullen and the Florida Gators to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the South Carolina Gamecocks in a very close one. Chomp, chomp. And now next matchup. It is a Big Ten East rivalry showdown between the Penn State Nittany Lions heading to College Park, Maryland to face the Maryland Terrapins. Now this is the 45th meeting between Penn State and Maryland. Penn State leads the old-time series 40-3-1. Now the Terrapins won the last meeting last year over the Penn State Nittany Lions, and the Nittany Lions are looking to defeat the Terps for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 9s in the Big Ten Conference. Penn State's coming off their loss on Saturday night to Ohio State, coming in at 5-3, and Maryland's coming off their victory over Indiana on Saturday, also coming in at 5-3. So coming from me in this Big Ten East rivalry showdown between these two 5-3 squads looking to get bowl eligible, ooh, this is a tough pick, but coming from me, I'm going to go with Sean Clifford and the Penn State Nittany Lions to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat Tallulah Tungavailoa and the Maryland Terrapins. We are Penn State. And now next matchup. It is an American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the Temple Owls heading to Greensville, North Carolina to face the East Carolina Pirates. Now this is the 18th meeting between Temple and East Carolina. Temple leads the all-time series 9-8. Now the Pirates won last year's meeting over the Owls, and the Owls are looking to defeat the Pirates for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming out very different Week 9s in the American Athletic Conference. Temple's coming off their loss to UCF on Saturday, coming in at 3-5, and East Carolina's coming off their victory over South Florida on Thursday night, coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the East Carolina Panthers to get the East Carolina Pirates, to get it done at home and get above 500 and defeat the Temple Owls. And now next matchup, it is another American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the Houston Cougars heading to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa to face the South Florida Bulls. Now this is the 8th meeting between Houston and South Florida. Houston leads the old-time series 5-2. Now the Cougars have won the last 5 meetings over the Bulls dating back to 2013, and the Bulls are looking to defeat the Cougars for the first time since 2002, 19 years ago. Now both teams are coming off very different week 9s in the American Athletic Conference. Houston's coming off their big victory over then undefeated SMU on Saturday, coming in at 7-1, and South Florida's coming off their loss on Thursday night to East Carolina, coming in at 2-6. So coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Houston Cougars to get it done on the road and defeat the South Florida Bulls. And now next matchup. It is a Pac-12 South rivalry showdown between the USC Trojans heading to Tempe, Arizona to face the Arizona State Sun Devils. Now this is the 37th meeting between USC and Arizona State. USC leads the old-time series 23-13. Now the Trojans have won the last 2 meetings over the Sun Devils back in 2019 and last year, and the Sun Devils are looking to defeat the Trojans for the first time in 3 years. Now both teams are coming off very different week 9s in the Pac-12 Conference. USC is coming off their victory on Saturday night over winless Arizona, coming in at 4-4, and Arizona State's coming off their loss to Washington State on Saturday, coming in at 5-3. So coming from me in this Pac-12 South rivalry showdown, I'm going to go with my good friend Austin Harris and his Arizona State Sun Devils to rebound and bounce back at home and get their 6th victory of the season and defeat the USC Trojans in a close one. And now next matchup. It is another Pac-12 rivalry showdown between the Oregon State Beavers heading to Boulder, Colorado to face the Colorado Buffaloes. Now this is the 12th meeting between Oregon State and Colorado. Oregon State leads the old-time series 6-5. Now the Beavers won the last meeting over the Buffaloes all the way back 3 years ago, and the Buffaloes are looking to defeat the Beavers for the first time in 4 years. Now both teams are coming off very bad week 9s in the Pac-12 Conference. Oregon State's coming off the loss to Cal on Saturday, coming in at 5-3, and Colorado's coming off their loss to Oregon on Saturday, coming in at 2-6. So coming from me in this Pac-12 rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Oregon State Beavers to rebound and bounce back on the road and get their 6th victory of the season and defeat the Colorado Buffaloes. And now next matchup. It is a Sun Belt rivalry showdown between the Appalachian State Mountaineers heading to Jonesboro, Arkansas to face the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Now this is the 5th meeting between Appalachian State and Arkansas State. Appalachian State leads the all-time series 3-1. Now the Mountaineers have won the last 2 meetings over the Red Wolves back in 2018 and last year, and the Red Wolves are looking to defeat the Mountaineers for the first time in 6 years. Now both teams are coming off very different week 9s in the Sun Belt Conference. Appalachian State's coming off their victory over Louisiana Monroe on Saturday, coming in at 6-2, and Arkansas State's coming off the loss to South Alabama on Saturday, coming in at 1-7. So coming from me in the Sun Belt rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Appalachian State Mountaineers to get it done on the road and defeat the Arkansas State Red Wolves. And now next matchup. It is a Mountain West Conference West rivalry showdown between the San Jose State Spartans heading to Reno, Nevada to face the Nevada Wolfpack. Now this is the 35th meeting between San Jose State and Nevada. Nevada leads the old-time series 22-10-2. Now the Spartans have won last year's meeting over the Wolfpack, and the Wolfpack are looking to defeat the Spartans for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very good week 9s in the Mountain West Conference. San Jose State's coming off their victory over Wyoming on Saturday, coming in at 5-4, and Nevada's coming off their victory on Friday over winless UNLV, coming in at 6-2. So coming from me in this Mountain West Conference West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Nevada Wolfpack to get it done at home and defeat the San Jose State Spartans in a shootout. And now next matchup. It is a Pac-12 rivalry showdown between the Cal Golden Bears heading to Tucson, Arizona to face the winless Arizona Wildcats. Now this is the 35th meeting between Cal and Arizona. Arizona leads the old-time series 18-14-2. Now the Wildcats have won the last 5 meetings over the Golden Bears dating all the way back to 2010, and the Golden Bears are looking to defeat the Wildcats for the first time since 2009, 12 years ago. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s in the Pac-12 Conference. Cal's coming off their victory over Oregon State on Saturday, coming in at 3-5, and Arizona's coming off another loss on Saturday, losing to USC, coming in winless at 0-8. So coming from me in this Pac-12 rivalry showdown, will Arizona finally get their first victory of the season? I don't think so here, but they are due for their first victory, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But coming from me, I am going to go with the Cal Golden Bears to get it done on the road and defeat the winless Arizona Wildcats. And now next matchup, it is a Big 12 rivalry showdown, and it is known as the Sunflower Showdown between the Kansas State Wildcats heading to Lawrence, Kansas to face the Kansas Jayhawks. Now this is the 119th meeting between Kansas State and Kansas. Kansas leads the all-time series 64, 48, and 5. Now the Wildcats have won the last 12 meetings over the Jayhawks, dating all the way back to 2009, and the Jayhawks are looking to defeat the Wildcats for the first time since 2008, 13 years ago. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s in the Big 12 Conference. Kansas State's coming off their victory over TCU on Saturday, coming in at 5-3, and Kansas is coming off their loss to Oklahoma State on Saturday, coming in at an abysmal 1-7. So coming from me in this Big 12 rivalry showdown and the 119th Sunflower Showdown between these two, I am going to go with the Kansas State Wildcats to make it 13 in a row and get it done on the road and defeat the Kansas Jayhawks. And now next matchup, it is the Battle of the Aggies between the Utah State Aggies heading to Las Cruces, New Mexico to face the New Mexico State Aggies. Now this is the 40th meeting between Utah State and New Mexico State. Utah State leads the all-time series 31-8. Now, Utah State won the last meeting over New Mexico State back 3 years ago, and New Mexico State is looking to defeat Utah State for the first time since the 2017 Arizona Bowl 4 years ago. Now, both teams are coming out very different week 9s. Utah State's coming out their victory over Hawaii on Saturday, coming in at 6-2, and New Mexico State's coming off their bye week, coming in at an abysmal 1-7. So coming from me in this Battle of the Aggies, I am going to go with the Utah State Aggies to get it done on the road and defeat the New Mexico State Aggies. And now next matchup, it is a Sun Belt rivalry showdown between the South Alabama Jaguars heading to Troy, Alabama to face the Troy Trojans. Now this is the 10th meeting between South Alabama and Troy. Troy leads the all-time series 6-3. Now the Trojans have won the last 3 meetings over the Jaguars dating back to 2018, and the Jaguars are looking to defeat the Trojans for the first time in 4 years. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s in the Sun Belt Conference. South Alabama's coming off their victory over Arkansas State on Saturday, coming in at 5-3, and Troy's coming off their loss on Thursday night to Coastal Carolina, coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in the Sun Belt rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the South Alabama Jaguars to get it done on the road and defeat the Troy Trojans in a close one. And now next matchup, it is a Sun Belt West rivalry showdown between the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks heading to San Marcos, Texas to face the Texas State Bobcats. Now this is the 18th meeting between Louisiana Monroe and Texas State. Louisiana Monroe leads the all-time series 12-5. Now the Bobcats won last year's meeting over the Warhawks, and the Warhawks are looking to defeat the Bobcats for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming out very bad week 9s in the Sun Belt Conference. Louisiana Monroe's coming off their loss to Appalachian State on Saturday, coming in at 4-4, and Texas State's coming off their loss to Louisiana on Saturday, coming in at 2-6. So coming from me in the Sun Belt West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks to rebound and bounce back on the road and get above 500 and get their 5th win of the season and defeat the Texas State Bobcats. And now next matchup, it is an American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the Green Wave of Tulane heading to Orlando, Florida to face the UCF Knights. Now this is the 11th meeting between Tulane and UCF. UCF leads the all-time series 8-2. Now the Knights have won the last 3 meetings over the Green Wave, dating all the way back to 2016, and the Green Wave of Tulane looking to defeat the Knights for the first time in 6 years. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s in the American Athletic Conference. Tulane's coming off their loss to number 2 Cincinnati on Saturday, coming in at an abysmal 1-7, and UCF is coming off their victory over Temple on Saturday, coming in at 5-3. So coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown, I am going to go with my good friend Scott Weeks in Sports and his UCF Knights to continue the winning ways and get a victory at home and get bowl eligible with their 6th win and defeat the Green Wave of Tulane. And now next matchup, it is another American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes heading to Cincinnati, Ohio to face the number 2 team in the nation, the Cincinnati Bearcats. Now this is the 36th meeting between Tulsa and Cincinnati. Tulsa leads the all-time series 17-16-2. Now, the Bearcats have won the last 2 meetings over the Golden Hurricanes back in 2019 and last year, and the Golden Hurricanes are looking to defeat the Bearcats for the first time in 5 years. Now, both teams are coming out very different week 9s in the American Athletic Conference. Tulsa's coming off the loss on Friday to Navy, coming in at 3-5, and Cincinnati's coming out their big victory over Tulane on Saturday, coming in undefeated at 8-0. So, coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Desmond Ridder and the number 2 team in the nation, the Cincinnati Bearcats. They get it done at home and remain undefeated and defeat the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. And now the next matchup. It is the Battle of the Military Academies between the Black Knights of Army heading to the Air Force Academy to face the Air Force Falcons. Now this is the 56th meeting between Army and Air Force. The Air Force Academy leads the all-time series 37-17-1. Now the Black Knights won last year's meeting over the Falcons, and the Falcons are looking to defeat the Black Knights for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off their bye week. Army's coming in at 4-3, and Air Force is coming in at 6-2. So coming from me in this Battle of Military Academies, ooh, this one's such a tough pick, but I always love predicting these what do you call it? I always like predicting these these academy games like Army and Navy and Army and Air Force, and this one's going to be good. But coming from me, as much as I do respect the boys at West Point, I am going to go with the Air Force Academy Falcons to get it done at home and defeat the Black Knights of Army. And now next matchup, it is a Conference USA West rivalry showdown between the Texas San Antonio Roadrunners heading to El Paso, Texas to face the UTEP Miners. Now this is the 9th meeting between Texas San Antonio and UTEP. Texas San Antonio leads the all-time series 6-2. Now the Roadrunners have won the last 4 meetings over the Miners dating back to 2017, and the Miners are looking to defeat the Roadrunners for the first time in 5 years. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s. Texas San Antonio is coming out their bye week. They're coming in undefeated at 8-0, and UTEP is coming out their surprising loss to Florida Atlantic on Saturday, coming in at 6-2. So coming from me in this Conference USA West rivalry showdown, if UTEP didn't lose to Florida Atlantic on Saturday, this would have been an amazing showdown. But I bet UTEP looked ahead to this game thinking they were going to beat Florida Atlantic, and they didn't get it done. So coming from me, I'm going to go with the Texas San Antonio Roadrunners to get it done on the road and remain undefeated and defeat the UTEP Miners in a shootout. And now the next matchup. It is the battle for the Rip Miller Trophy between the Midshipmen of Navy heading to South Bend to face the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Now this is the 94th meeting between Navy and Notre Dame. Notre Dame leads the all-time series 77-13-1. Now, the Fighting Irish have won the last 3 meetings over the Midshipmen dating back to 2017, and the Midshipmen are looking to defeat the Fighting Irish for the first time in 5 years. Now, both teams are coming out very good week 9s. Navy's coming off their victory on Friday over Tulsa, coming in at 2-6, and Notre Dame's coming off their big victory over North Carolina on Saturday, coming in at 7-1. So, coming from me in the battle for the Rip Miller Trophy, I am going to go with Brian Kelly's Notre Dame Fighting Irish to continue the winning ways and get it done at home and defeat the Midshipmen of Navy. And now next matchup. It is a Conference USA rivalry showdown between the Rice Owls heading to Charlotte, North Carolina to face the Charlotte 49ers. Now this is only the 3rd meeting between Rice and Charlotte. The Owls have won the last 2 meetings over the 49ers dating all the way back to 2015. So the Owls have owned this rivalry for 6 years. Now both teams are coming off very bad week 9s in Conference USA. Rice is coming off the loss to North Texas on Saturday, coming in at 3-5. And Charlotte's coming off their loss to Western Kentucky on Saturday, coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in this Conference USA rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Charlotte 49ers to rebound and bounce back at home and get to 5 wins and defeat the Rice Owls. And now the next matchup between the Idaho State Bengals heading to Provo, Utah to face the BYU Cougars. Now both teams are coming out very different week 9s. Idaho State's coming off the loss to FCS opponent Weber State on Saturday, coming in at 1-7. And BYU's coming off their huge victory over Virginia on Saturday, coming in at 7-2. So coming from me in this matchup, I am going to go with the BYU Cougars to continue the winning ways and get it done at home and defeat the Idaho State Bengals. And now next matchup. It is a Conference USA East rivalry showdown between the Marshall Thundering Herd heading to Boca Raton, Florida to face the Florida Atlantic Owls. Now this is the 9th meeting between Marshall and Florida Atlantic. Marshall leads the all-time series 7-1. Now, the Thundering Herd have won the last 3 meetings over the Owls, dating all the way back to 2018, and the Owls are looking to defeat the Thundering Herd for the first time in 4 years. Now, both teams are coming out very good Week 9s in Conference USA play. Marshall's coming out their victory over Florida International on Saturday, coming in at 5-3, and Florida Atlantic's coming out their huge upset victory over UTEP on Saturday, also coming in at 5-3. So, coming from me in this Conference USA East rivalry showdown between these two 5-3 squads. Ooh, boy, both teams looking to get bowl eligible with a victory, so this one's going to be tough. But coming from me, I'm going to go with the Florida Atlantic Owls to get it done at home and get their 6th victory of the season to become bowl eligible and defeat the Thundering Herd of Marshall in a close one. And now next matchup, it is another Conference USA East rivalry showdown between the Old Dominion Monarchs heading to Miami, Florida to face the Florida International Golden Panthers. Now this is the 7th meeting between Old Dominion and Florida International. The series is tied 3-3. Now the Golden Panthers have won the last 2 meetings over the Monarchs back in 2018 and 2 years ago, and the Monarchs are looking to defeat the Golden Panthers for the first time in 4 years. Now both teams are coming out very different Week 9s in Conference USA play. Old Dominion's coming out their victory over La Tech on Saturday, coming in at 2-6, and Florida International's coming off their loss to Marshall on Saturday, coming in at an abysmal 1-7. So coming from me in this Conference USA East rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Old Dominion Monarchs to get it done on the road and defeat the Florida International Golden Panthers. And now next matchup, it is a Mountain West Conference Mountain rivalry showdown between the Colorado State Rams heading to Laramie, Wyoming to face the Wyoming Cowboys. Now this is the 113th meeting between Colorado State and Wyoming. Colorado State leads the old-time series 59-48-5. Now, the Rams won last year's meeting over the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are looking to defeat the Rams for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming out very bad Week 9s in the Mountain West Conference. Colorado State's coming off their loss on Saturday to my Boise State Broncos. They are coming in at 3-5, and Wyoming's coming off their loss to San Jose State on Saturday, coming in at 4-4. So, coming from me in this Mountain West Conference Mountain rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Wyoming Cowboys to rebound and bounce back at home and get their 5th victory of the season and defeat the Colorado State Rams in a close offensive shootout. And now next matchup, it is a Conference USA West rivalry showdown between the North Texas Mean Green heading to Hattiesburg, Mississippi to face the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Now this is the 16th meeting between North Texas and Southern Miss. Southern Miss leads the all-time series 8-7. Now the Golden Eagles have won the last 2 meetings over the Mean Green back in 2019 and last year, and the Mean Green are looking to defeat the Golden Eagles for the first time in 3 years. Now both teams are coming out very different Week 9s in Conference USA play. North Texas is coming out their victory over Rice on Saturday, coming in at 2-6, and Southern Miss is coming off their loss to Middle Tennessee on Saturday, coming in at an abysmal 1-7. So coming from me in this Conference USA West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Mean Green of North Texas to get it done on the road and defeat the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. And now the next matchup. And this matchup I'm extremely excited for because it is a Mountain West Conference rivalry showdown, and it's the battle for the milk can between my Boise State Broncos heading to Bulldog Stadium in my city, Fresno, California, to face this city's Fresno State Bulldogs. Now this is the 23rd meeting between Boise State and Fresno State. Boise State leads the all-time series 15-7. Now, the Bulldogs won the last meeting over my Broncos all the way back 3 years ago, and the Broncos are looking to defeat the Bulldogs for the first time in 3 years. Now, both teams are coming out very good Week 9s in the Mountain West Conference. My Broncos are coming off their big victory over Colorado State on Saturday, coming in at 4-4, but the Fresno State Bulldogs are coming off their huge victory, ending San Diego State's undefeated streak on Saturday, coming in at 7-2. So, coming from me in this Mountain West Conference rivalry showdown to see who will have possession of the milk can this year, this city loves their Fresno State Bulldogs. I live in Fresno, California, and if you know anybody here, they support the Fresno State Bulldogs like no other. But coming from me, I am going to go with my Boise State Broncos to get it done on the road and defeat the Fresno State Bulldogs in a close offensive shootout. And now next matchup, it is a Mountain West Conference West rivalry showdown between the San Diego State Aztecs heading to Honolulu, Hawaii to face the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Now this is the 36th meeting between San Diego State and Hawaii. San Diego State leads the all-time series 22-11-2. Now the Aztecs won last year's meeting over the Rainbow Warriors, and the Rainbow Warriors are looking to defeat the Aztecs for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming out very bad Week 9s in the Mountain West Conference. San Diego State's coming off their first loss of the season to Fresno State on Saturday, coming in at 7-1. 4-1. And the Rainbow Warriors are coming off their loss to Utah State on Saturday, coming in at 4-5. So coming from me in this Mountain West Conference West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the San Diego State Aztecs to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And now next matchup, it is a Conference USA East rivalry showdown between the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders heading to Bowling Green, Kentucky to face the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Now this is the 71st meeting between Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky. Middle Tennessee leads the old-time series 35-34-1. Now the Hilltoppers have won the last 2 meetings over the Blue Raiders back in 2019 and last year, and the Blue Raiders are looking to defeat the Hilltoppers for the first time in 3 years. Now both teams are coming off very good Week 9s in Conference USA play. Middle Tennessee's coming off their victory over Southern Miss on Saturday, coming in at 4-4, and Western Kentucky's coming off their victory over Charlotte on Saturday, also coming in at 4-4. So coming from me in this Conference USA East rivalry showdown between these two 4-4 squads, I am going to go with the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers to get it done at home and get their 5th victory of the season and defeat the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders in a close one. And now next matchup, it is a Mountain West Conference rivalry showdown between the winless UNLV Rebels heading to Albuquerque, New Mexico to face the New Mexico Lobos. Now this is the 25th meeting between UNLV and New Mexico. The series is tied 12-12. Now the Lobos won the last meeting over the Rebels back 3 years ago, and the Rebels are looking to defeat the Lobos for the first time in 4 years. Now both teams are coming out very different Week 9s. UNLV's coming off the loss on Friday night to Nevada, coming in winless at 0-8, and New Mexico's coming off their bye week, coming in at 3-5. So coming from me in this Mountain West Conference rivalry showdown, will UNLV finally get their first victory of the season here? Maybe, but I doubt it. So coming from me, I'm going to go with the New Mexico Lobos to get it done at home and defeat the winless UNLV Rebels. And now next matchup, it is a Big Ten rivalry showdown between the Ohio State Buckeyes heading to Lincoln, Nebraska to face the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now this is the 10th meeting between Ohio State and Nebraska. Ohio State leads the old-time series 8-1. Now, the Buckeyes have won the last 6 meetings over the Cornhuskers dating back to 2012, and the Cornhuskers are looking to defeat the Buckeyes for the first time since 2011. Now, both teams are coming out very different Week 9s in the Big Ten Conference. Ohio State's coming off their victory on Saturday night over Penn State, coming in at 7-1, and Nebraska's coming off another heartbreaking loss on Saturday, losing to Purdue, coming in at 3-6. So coming from me in this Big Ten rivalry showdown, this may be Scott Frost's biggest opportunity to get his biggest win as head coach as Nebraska, but coming from me, I think he's getting way over his head. Even though they're at home, I just do not see Nebraska putting up a fight. So coming from me, I am going to go with C.J. Stroud, Mark Day, and the Ohio State Buckeyes to get it done on the road and defeat the Nebraska Cornhuskers. OHIO. And now the next matchup. It is an SEC West rivalry showdown between the LSU Tigers heading to Tuscaloosa to face the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now this is the 86th meeting between LSU and Alabama. Alabama leads the old-time series 54-26-5. Now, the Crimson Tide won last year's meeting over the Tigers, and the Tigers are looking to defeat the Crimson Tide for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming off their bye week. LSU's coming in at 4-4, and Alabama's coming in at 7-1. So, coming from me in this SEC West rivalry showdown, this one should be good. Nick Saban versus Coach Orgeron, and it's sad to hear that Coach O is going to be leaving LSU after this season, and LSU is going to be looking for a new coach. And there's a lot of great head coaches out there that could definitely bring LSU back after winning the national championship a couple years ago. But it's sad to see Coach O go because he brings that emotion in both Baton Rouge. But coming from me, I am going to go with Bryce Young, Nick Saban, and the Alabama Crimson Tide to get it done at home and defeat the LSU Tigers. Roll Tide! And now the final matchup in this enormous Week 10 college football prediction. It is an SEC East rivalry showdown between the Missouri Tigers heading to Athens, Georgia to face the #1 team in the nation and the SEC East champions, the Georgia Bulldogs. Now this is the 11th meeting between Missouri and Georgia. Georgia leads the all-time series 9-1. Now the Bulldogs have won the last 7 meetings over the Tigers. They go all the way back to 2014, and the Tigers are looking to defeat the Bulldogs for the first time since 2013, 8 years ago. Now, both teams are coming out very good Week 9s in the SEC Conference. Missouri's coming out their victory over Vanderbilt on Saturday, coming in at 4-4, and Georgia's coming out their big beatdown victory over Florida on Saturday. And with Georgia and with Kentucky's loss to Mississippi State, Georgia has won the SEC East. So they will be in the SEC title game in Atlanta, and they're coming in undefeated, the #1 team in the nation, 8-0. So coming from me in this SEC East rivalry showdown and the final pick in this enormous Week 10 of the college football season, I am going to go with Stetson Bennett and the #1 team in the nation, the SEC champions, the Georgia Bulldogs, to get it done at home and remain undefeated and defeat the Missouri Tigers. And those are my Week 10 college football predictions. Wow. Now, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching this video today. Comment below. Who do you see winning in week number 10 of the college football season? Do you see any upsets happening? Do you see any upsets happening in the top 4? And do you see any team beating Georgia right now? Because Georgia right now is in the SEC championship game, and maybe their biggest threat is the Alabama Crimson Tide. But let me know, if Georgia loses anytime this season, who do you think and who do you believe deserves to be the #1 team? I heard it on College Game Day. A lot of people are saying Cincinnati should be the #1 team if Georgia falls short, or Ohio State. But let me know what you guys think. And as always, represent your college football teams in the comment section. Even if they're having a rough year, like the Arizona Wildcats, like the UNLV Rebels, like UMass, and so many other teams, still represent them in the comment section. Let's have a conversation about it. Of course, I'm always on to see your comment, like it, and of course, reply right back to you, because comments and your opinions are absolutely always welcome on this channel. Now, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching this enormous Week 10 college football predictions today. Thank you guys again for all the support. Now, before you guys go, as always, you guys can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends. Of course, super kinetic, that like button, like only you guys can. Of course, you guys can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button to become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. We're officially on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're getting so close to that milestone goal. So if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, guys, what are you guys waiting for, folks? If you're a fan of professional wrestling when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Elite Wrestling, and Ring of Honor Wrestling, and you're a fan of professional sports when it comes to college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, the NBA, NHL, and college basketball, super kick that subscribe button, folks. It's free, and you become part of this bigger, dangerous alliance. I will see you guys later today for my official New Japan Pro Wrestling's Power Struggle 2021 predictions. Zack Sabre Jr. Shingo 2, Tamatonga Kazuchika Okada 2, Great-O-Khan Yano 2, and Kenta Tanahashi 5. Later days, guys, and peace.